Well, we've never properly met before because we met very in passing at Amelia's Valentine's. That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I also met you the year before that.
Oh my God, I hate when this happens.
No, but you would not have remembered because I had like randomly been invited to that party.
Was it the Valentine's one before?
Yes.
Right.
And I think you were there with Susie.
Yes. Oh my God, I do remember that.
And we had a really brief conversation.
Remember that. Yeah, I do remember meeting you.
But that whole night was so overwhelming for me. I couldn't believe I was there.
I can imagine. Because also like that was, what was that, 2023? That would have been 2023.
Yes,
and that was like just post like COVID.
Yeah.
Because when did you start kind of like becoming like well known? Was that during COVID?
No, it was after.
Really?
Because I first like started posting properly in 2021, like as we were coming out of it. But then I don't really know when I say was like the moment where I was like,
the girls are obsessed with you. Like we are all obsessed. All of my friends are obsessed with you.
Oh.
You're so amazing.
No,
and
you're
like,
so amazing. You are. Seriously.
No, but like whenever I've told people, and my best friend Anna is fucking obsessed with you and she really wanted to be able to come today, but she has a job. I know, but she fucking loves you. And do you remember when we played You're Gay? You know
when you were son.
Yeah. Do you remember when we played that? And like, it was the day I was having my abortion, so I was like really emotional, wasn't it? It was that day. And Anna was like, "We're gonna play Maddie Grace Jepson's game," and it was so fun. Anyway, we love you. You're just like very loved. So that's.
I hope so.
You are.
But I'm so glad that I've like got the audience I do. I'm really actually so lucky. Like I think about it all the time. I would never want to change it.
I know, because they're always people that you'd probably be friends with.
They're just it's just the nicest community. Like I genuinely feel, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think the internet, like it changes, switches up every now and again, and sometimes it's really horrible. But I would say across the board, I feel like I've got like a really lovely community and I feel really safe in my little bubble that I've created. And that's so nice because it does remind me like, the girls and the gays were just the best.
The best.
Just the best.
And it is really safe, especially when like the world is like imploding.
Don't.
You just know that there are all these like amazing people out there who like aren't terrible. Because I think it's the being able to like have that community online, but then when you, I guess, do like live shows, also see them be there and be like, oh my God, these are all like amazing people. Like what a compliment that these people want to come and like spend an evening with me.
Because that's the same probably for you. Is like when you actually see it in real life. Because when I did my show in October, that was the first time I'd ever seen my audience in the flesh. I'd never because obviously I'm just posting to the internet. I don't know like actually who's watching or like I think like
everyone
kind of becomes well, that's the thing.
Everybody.
Like, everyone. I kind of forget like like whatever I'm putting on the internet, everyone can see, babe. Like this is not just for like my friends. So when I did my show, I was like, oh my God, this is real life people who are actual like fans and like really enjoy it. And like same for you, probably when you do your shows, it's like, what the hell? Like these are real humans.
I know. I had this mantra on my tour because I get really nervous. Did you get nervous?
Yeah, I got really nervous.
And I have this mantra which I write, it's a routine. I write in my notepad like over and over again until my tour manager comes and says it's like stage time, is I write, everybody who's come to see me tonight is a nice person and they just want you to do well. Because sometimes when I started, I'd go out on stage and think, I'm going to fail. These people want me to fail. And it's like, no. The people who have spent money and are coming specifically to watch you don't want you to fail. They want you to do well.
That's just calmed me down.
Yeah, it's a really nice...
That is such a good thing to say to
because they do. Like those people, I mean, there might be people when you do like other things who don't want you to do well because maybe they're jealous or whatever, but those people have come to see you thrive.
It's actually so true.
Yeah.
Everyone wants it to be amazing.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Because I think sometimes when you're nervous, it's like, I don't know if are you an anxious person?
So anxious.
Really?
Don't even talk to me about it. No, but I think that comes with being a creative. Do you not think?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we're just more, would you say you're an empathetic person?
Yeah, I definitely am, 100%. I mean, like I always say I'm too empathetic, so I've got really bad hypochondria. So like if someone tells me about an illness, I then develop the illness because I'm such an empath.
No, don't say.
Are you socially anxious? Because
I don't know. I don't like, because I always used to think social anxiety was like this kind of very obvious thing that like if I saw it in somebody, I wouldn't really necessarily relate to it. But I think I have my own version of my social anxiety where I'm like,
where even if you don't look like you're anxious somewhere, you are
100%. Or I think it's probably developed more so since I've got my like platform, because I think there is an expectation of what I'm like. So I think when I meet new people, or like if I have interactions with people who come up to me in the street, I get anxious because I'm thinking, oh, I really hope I'm living up to their expectations here, because I can't be what I'm like online. It's not me 24/7. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's not me 24/7. I think if I was like that all the time, it'd be hell. Yeah. So like sometimes I have interactions with people and I walk away and I'm rethinking about every single thing I've said in that conversation, or oh my God, that was really awkward, or like I'll say like, they'll be like, I love you, or like, I don't know, like, you know when you say to a waiter when they're like, oh, yeah, if you enjoy your food, and you go, you too. Like I feel like
you go, I love you too.
Yeah, like, I feel like
I always do that.
I feel like I say stuff like that to like people who've come up to me in the street, like they'll be like, I love your videos, and I'm like, yours too. Because I'm like, it's a blur. Yeah. It's a blur or something. I don't know. And so
I always just think maybe I know them. So I'm like, oh my God, hi. Because I always get stressed. It might then be, me and Anna were walking through the street the other day and this girl was cycling past and she was like, Grace. And I was like, oh my God, hi. Like, I thought I knew her. So I was like, so nice to see you. And she was like, massive fan. I was like, oh.
Don't. I've had that before. I was in Universal Studios in LA.
Okay, woof.
I know.
Okay, wow.
I was actually there because my parents were traveling and I went out to see them. And I've got a few friends in LA. I don't love LA. What do you think?
Yeah.
We spoke about this.
Yeah, because when you were going, because you went, did you go like at some point last year?
Yeah, I did. I was there in October.
Yes.
And I actually did like it more that time.
I think it's just so different to everything we know.
I know.
Like it is. And then also, I think there is such a pecking order in LA of like your status.
That's
and
what it is.
If you're not from there or don't live there and so like don't have your own like group, you really feel that like status thing wherever you go.
Yeah, I think I just don't feel like I really fit in there. But I really tried to embrace it this time around, and I love it because it's got a lot of my really close friends live there, and I go there to see them, and that's the main point. Anyway, about this Universal story. I was there and I was with my parents and this girl came running over to me, literally arms splayed like that. And I thought, oh my God, I know her.
Yeah.
Because she was so familiar. I was like, ah! I was like, my arms out. I was like, hi! I was like, gave her this hug, and I was there with my mum and she's like, what are you doing here?
Oh my God, stop.
What are you doing here? And I was like, oh, I'm just, just visiting my parents. Oh my God, like, so amazing to see you. Like, and so I had this whole conversation where I was thinking in my head, I was like,
are you?
Who are you? Who are you? And then she goes, can I get a selfie? Can I get a selfie with you?
She kind of duped you there because I feel like that's quite a like, she's acting as though you do know each other.
I honestly, it was the wildest moment. I was like, and even when she asked for the picture, I thought maybe she just wants it to be like a memory, like, oh,
yes, the reunion. Yeah, after all these years.
And then I saw it, she put it on the story and was like, can't believe just met. And I was thinking that whole thing was wild because you could have so convinced me that
you knew. Yeah. I think it's a really like weird, what's a weird kind of being known is when you are known in the way that you are, people do just really think that they are your friend.
Yeah.
And so are going to be, whereas like, if it's someone who's like an actor or like someone who plays a character, whereas it's like people will blur the lines of
100%.
Thinking that they know you.
And I always think this when it's like similar to you. I mean, you're more so, but like when you're sat in that weird between spot of like, you're not Cynthia Erivo, but you're not like Tom, Dick or Harry down the street.
Yeah,
you're in that weird middle spot where it's like we're probably approached more than some like huge celebrity would be because you just wouldn't ever.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
There's so many like famous people. Like I saw what's Mr. Bean's name? Rowan Atkinson the other day. And it's like, I'd never like be like, oh my God, Rowan Atkinson, because it's like, you're really famous.
Yes.
Whereas I would, if it was someone I followed.
Yes.
They just feel much more accessible. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's always interesting.
So like, what's your sort of, when you were growing up, were you like were you like a wild teenager, or what was your vibe when you were a teenager? Did you go to parties? Like
I was really quite square. I was. Do you know, I can laugh about it now, but it is my trauma. I used to get bullied for being frigid.
No way. That's really traumatic.
But also,
that is really traumatic. Yeah, so did Emily.
I was relentlessly bullied for being frigid. Like, I would get followed home from school by boys screaming, frigid, fucking frigid bitch at me. Like, I'm not joking. Like, it was awful.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
But can I just say, I was like 12.
Oh my God.
So, you know, when you just think about it, I'm thinking, what is even going on there? Like, I can't even believe I was made to feel a type of way at 12 years old.
That's really horrible. Also, like,
sexual.
those boys just wouldn't have even understood anything.
No.
They've never seen,
but
like...
what was school like for you? Like, did you feel like there was that weird pressure to like be sexual at a young age?
Yeah, I think so. I definitely felt like we maybe were like slower to like become people that like were confident in that way. So I definitely had a complex about it, but like 100%. And I would always like, I feel like that what was so weird at school was it was like, oh my God, like she's lost her virginity. And it's like, we are 14, like 13, 14. And like everybody's coming in like, this girl lost her virginity on the weekend. And I didn't lose my virginity till I was 18.
Yeah.
And I feel like I had a lot of pressure too, but then I also like really didn't want to because I was so scared.
That was it for me. I was literally like, not one part of me wanted to. Like, I didn't even want to kiss a boy. Like, I was terrified.
Yeah.
And like, but I always used to think there was something wrong with me. Like, I was like, why do I not want to do these things? And like, I'm scared. And like, I remember I had a boyfriend when I was like 14, and he had sex like before with this like girl in our year or whatever. And like, I used to lie all the time that I was on my period when we were together, because I was like, I just do not want him to like even try anything with me, because I was so scared.
Yeah, because I also think this is the thing that I'm so glad I'm like not at school. But when you were at school, because we went to a girls' school, but there was a boys' school next door, and the boys would say shit about like girls, things that girls had done, or like I remember before I even knew what a fanny fart was, a boy had been like, oh my God, yeah, she like fanny farted, and everyone was like, oh my God. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, I'm so scared. What if I've had like, what if I'm gonna fanny fart? And that's the kind of shit. Yeah, no, literally Queen Laquifa. That's the shit now that we're all like, we still internalize that stuff.
Babe, don't. It was honestly.
So you were kind of like, were you like, did you have a good friendship group at school?
So I ended up in the popular group of girls, which I don't really know how I ended up in. I just think I was a really likable person at school. I was like I've always been like the class clown, the funny
performing. Yeah.
Always that. And like, but I actually had a good couple of friends within that group. And the only reason I was in that group was because of those, like, I would say there was like probably 3 girls in that group that I was like, they're my friends. But I was also friends with people outside of that group, like the drama geeks. Like I was in every show.
Did you love? Yeah.
But I used to get bullied for that by the boys. Because I was at a mixed school for majority of my secondary school. And then I moved from where I grew up in Scarborough in Yorkshire to Bath, which is where my family live now. Yeah,
okay.
Which was like a really big move, and I was going into year 11 and then moved to a girls' school.
It's such a different vibe.
And
I've never went. Yeah, I know. Well, I feel so lucky that I went to a girls' school.
I loved it, but I think I loved it so much because I'd been bullied by boys like my entire
and because you could like
time.
be in the plays and like not feel really self-conscious. You could do
literally
drama and like perform and not. I really think for girls to like go through those years without thinking about the male gaze and like what the boys are seeing of you is so much like healthier.
100%, because I actually feel the lasting effects of constantly feeling I needed to impress those boys so that they wouldn't bully me to this day. Like,
well, for sure.
And I hate it because it's not who I am. Like, I don't live to please men, but there's part of me that is just so like traumatized by that time that like, because when I was at that mixed school, every day I'd wake up at 6 a.m, straightening, curling my hair, like
really
full face of makeup every single day. Like, because I felt that's what I had to look like for them. And like, I have dissected that a lot, like with therapy. And yes, I have my therapist now. And like, I still have those issues like now. And I just think it's so annoying because the relief I felt moving to a girls' school was like nothing I'd ever felt in my life. I never wore makeup like that whole year I was there. Like it was so warm and accepting. And I think, I don't know, I just wish I could have had that whole experience.
I think it's also hard because like we live in like still a culture where we are all thinking about like what men do see of us. Like whenever I post anything, whatever it is, I will sort of at some point think about like what my ex-boyfriend's gonna think of that, or like I'll always like,
I know.
And it's like I haven't spoken to him for like 2 years, but I'll still like wonder. I don't know, it's so stupid.
I know, babe.
It will go through my brain of like, oh, what will men think of me posting this?
I know.
And it's usually they'll fucking hate it because everything I post is me being like, fuck men.
Literally me.
And then I'm like, why does nobody like ask me out anymore on my DMs?
No, don't.
Because like everything I post is like, I hate men. Like,
oh my God. Don't, because I've actually been thinking about this recently, and I have actually spoke to my therapist about it because I'm actually really trying hard not to hate them as much.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But it's really hard because I'm just like, the older I become and the more aware of the patriarchy I become, the more like I can't like every single thing. Like, because how old are you?
30.
Right. So I'm 25 and I feel like this is the year that I'm like really becoming aware of like what it is to be a woman, and like especially like women in comedy, and like because I'm going into that world, it's like, oh my God, like it's just so fucked. Like,
yeah. And also I think, well, there's so many parts of it because it's like being the problem at the moment, and like, listen, Adam's a great, there's so many like men, right, who are the exception, who I
100%.
love.
Yes.
And hashtag not all men.
Get it trending.
Yeah. Hashtag not all men.
Love you.
Love you.
I think when I'm in relationships, I'm such a giving person, like almost like too much, or like it feels that way because maybe it's just never been like reciprocated.
Yeah.
And like I think with him, I just thought, I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it, and and I won't. Like I just don't want to be like that. I just like just be an adult.
I know, but I think that it takes them a lot longer, basically, a lot of the time, because, you know, I just think when you are, especially when you're like a young woman, like you have to go through things like even just the simple thing of like having a period. It's such like complex, having hormonal challenges. You're going through like ups and downs constantly. So I think we have, and then I think our friendships are like much nicer because we like talk to our friends in ways that like a lot of straight men just don't. So and then we get into relationships with straight men and we expect them to be as open emotionally as us, but they've not lived in the same like environments as we have.
I know, and I actually feel bad.
Yes.
Like it's sometimes like I'll be sat across, like, because again, I know so many great men, like my dad being one of them. Genuinely, I love him. Like he's got 3 daughters and he's been such an example set for like what men should be. And like, because I've been sat across some great men and I think, oh, now I want to like have like, oh, you know, talking about a hobby, or, oh, for example, I met these guys in Australia, right? And we were sat across from them and I was like, oh, so like, what do you love about your job? Like, what do you love about it, kind of thing? And they were like, is this a conversation about? And I was like, no, what? I was like, what? Like, I'm asking you like what you like about your job. And he was like, oh, right. Like, and like they were just so weird about the fact they were going to have to express something they enjoyed.
And even think about it. Like,
yeah. So I was like, well, because he was a gardener, right? And I said, so like, what do you like the fact that you're outdoors? And he was like, yeah, I suppose like it's the outdoorsness. And like, it was through having this conversation and me kind of talking through it that he was like, I really love my job. And I was like, why has this... I'm so confused. Like, I felt so bad for him because I was like, you clearly have never had a conversation where someone's allowed you to be even vulnerable about like what you love about your job. Like it was wild. Like
I once had a boyfriend, and one of his friends was going through a breakup, and he was like, I'm gonna go and see him because he's like not in a good way. Then he came back, and I was like, oh, so like what happened? Like why did they break up? And he was like, oh, I didn't ask. I was like, what? Like, that's so crazy. That's like so crazy. You've just gone and hung out with him to see if he's okay, and you've not asked what's happened.
oh my God.
I think the thing is, right, and like we, you know, because it's so hard because you're single, right? I'm assuming you're single.
So single.
Yeah, same. But I think like what we can't do is any of that stuff for people. But what you can do is remember that like there are people out there who are like that. They are rare. But eventually, the less time you spend wasting your energy on like guys who don't want to evolve and don't want to grow up and don't want to like learn about themselves or like talk about their emotions, then the more time you have like to work on yourself and work on your career.
100%.
And then someone will come eventually.
Yeah, I feel like that lightning bulb like went off for me like not too long ago. I was like, there's just no point wasting energy until the right one. Because I am a really emotional person. And so I know my needs in a relationship, whether it be a friendship or a romantic relationship, is I need to feel supported by you. And like, that's the same with friends. Like I've not been able to, I can't click with someone if we can't sit and be emotional with each other. Because that's how I connect with people. That's just who I am. Like, so, and that's hard to find with men because of their own issues within fucking patriarchy and everything. Like, it's just like, you know, I need that emotional support. So if you can't give me that, there's just no point even moving forward.
And it's like, once you know that, I really think this is the thing that's changed. Like, because I've only realized that in like the last year. I spent a lot of my 20s trying to make men be people that I don't think they could be or wanted to be. Like, either way, it just was never going to happen. So I would constantly be disappointed. Then they'd be upset because I'm constantly being like, you're not making me feel good.
Yeah.
And it's just like a lose-lose situation. I think when you get to that point which you're at, which is amazing, it's like, you then just know it's not worth it. I mean, because do people ever slide into your DMs?
No.
No.
Very, very, very occasionally. And then if they do, I'm just not, like, I'd just rather meet someone in real life, you know?
I know, but like, when does that ever happen? The other day, a guy asked me out in Whole Foods and then he turned out to be a freak, so.
Most of them are freaks.
Yeah. But are you on dating apps?
No.
No. Have you ever, because were you in a relationship before that? So like, have you ever been on dating apps?
Yeah, like, but Raya or Raya will not accept me on there.
Wow.
I've got beef with them.
Oh, wow.
Beef?
Wait, why?
They just won't. I think there's someone like literally at the back desk who just fucking hates me, who thinks I'm really annoying and thinks this bitch never gonna get love. Honestly, because then I go on Hinge and I'm fucking, who's this?
No, I know.
It's a nightmare, so I just don't.
No, I know.
And I honestly, I've like convinced myself my husband is on Raya, and I'm getting pissed off because I'm thinking someone behind that desk is looking at my application going, not accepting you. Fucking freaks, accept me.
I wonder why that is, because like because I have a friend who's a journalist and they won't let her on because they're like, we don't want you to write about it.
Maybe it's because they're scared I'm gonna like
you're
make
gonna
videos
do
about
videos
it.
about it.
I won't.
Yeah.
Confirmation.
just talk
Honestly,
about a podcast. Just talk about it on a podcast.
No, but please
Just let Maddie in.
Let me in because I just want to find my husband.
Yeah.
And I can't find one fucking Hinge.
Have you met anyone like IRL in recent times?
Yeah, I have. And last year I was dating someone for about 4 months and they were a fellow influencer and that was just hell.
Wow, yeah.
But I needed to do that because for a long time, that was the only people I was ever meeting like in real life at events and stuff. And so I just thought, oh, maybe this is just going to be what it is. Like maybe I'll just have to be with him. Oh God, it was not good for me. So I just was like, no, never again. So then I did go on Hinge for a little bit and I started dating a bit more. Got stood up. Can you believe
the
it?
hell would stand you up?
Can you believe it?
Wow, that's fucked.
Yeah. There's just a lot of stories from that time when I was dating on Hinge. So again, I gave up.
Yeah.
I just thought, I'm just not doing it. I'm too good for this.
You are.
I've got too much like heart and soul for these.
And do you feel things quite deeply? So like I
massively
definitely I fictionalize people like before I meet them.
100%.
It's the same with like when I'm like looking for like flats. I'll like get really attached to somewhere and then like I go and see it and it's like not right, and then I'm really upset because I've imagined my whole life living in that flat. I have that with men. Like before I meet them, I like it's
100%.
Yeah,
I romanticize everything.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I do get carried away.
Yeah, same.
I will have like one conversation with a man, like, and I'll think like, oh, what if he's the one?
Yeah,
and this is how it'll go.
I know.
I just do, but
sliding doors.
I love that I feel things deeply though.
Agreed. I think it's just about like I think feeling things deeply is amazing. I just think what I've really learned to do is just not get my hopes up.
Exactly.
And then
that's what I'm trying to do.
Anything is amazing. Do you know what I mean?
I also feel like I don't know if it's any different at 30, but I feel like at this age, people are being serious, they're already in a relationship, and the people who are single are just wanting fun in London right now. And that's what I'm just like, cool, but that's not where I'm at. Like, so I just, do you know what I mean? I'm not putting energy into it.
I think that's amazing. And I think like, honestly, Maddie, like you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You're going to be absolutely.
I do truly feel that as well.
100%. I believe it for sure. So it's like, what's the point? And this is the thing, like I'm kind of jealous that you're having this realization at 25 because I definitely spent like a big chunk of like that period from 25 to 30 being like, I need, like when I was single, I'd be like, I can't be single. So then I'd get into like another like shit relationship, situationship that would then go on far too long. I just wasted so much time when I could have been like having fun, working on my career.
Yeah. I think I felt I had my fun and I am really emotionally vulnerable, and like the times when I was having fun and like sleeping around or whatever, I just got to a point where I was like, not even me, I'm not doing this because I don't love myself, I'm doing this because I want to have fun and it was my time to do it. But the person I was sharing it with was making me feel a type of way of being like so disposable, and that wasn't making me feel good. That was the part that wasn't making me feel good. It wasn't the sleeping around. Like I wish I was better at sleeping around because I would do it more, and like as you should.
Yeah,
I'm just not good at it. It doesn't.
Yeah, well, it's when that's so fair, because I think I go through like phases of it. Like I sometimes just feel I can't do it because if I'm going through anything, I get attached to people really quickly if I'm not in a very good like mental space. If I'm happy, I can just like have an amazing, like I had a few really amazing one night stands in December, and I was like that I was just in the right place for them. But sometimes it really I think does depend. But I think it's about really protecting your energy and being like, you know, because often these people are really insecure. That's why they're making you feel a type of way and disposable. But it doesn't feel that way. It feels like they think you're worthless.
No, I know.
And then that's what you internalize.
And because I want everyone to be in love with me.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, they're sleeping with me because they love me. Yeah. Like they're in love with me. And then they don't. And I'm like, right, so I'm ugly. So like I go from 0 to 100, I think, right, so I'm ugly. Right, so
I know. I envy like one of my best friends when we were younger. Whenever she'd get dumped or ghosted, she'd be like, well, he's just probably gay. And that would always be like her default. She would never ever internalize it. She'd be like, yeah, I mean, he's just probably gay. Like I'm probably not like his type.
Oh my God.
I would just wish because I always used to like, it would be me, and then I would be like, I don't exist. Like I would feel like so worthless. I can't look in the mirror.
Literally.
Yeah.
But again, that goes back to me just constantly wanting to like going back to my younger self. Like I just want men to like me, so then I feel good about do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like a never ending fucking cycle.
Well, it's because you had that experience when you were younger, and then I think you need to what you need to do is really like close that feeling.
I need to rewrite that side of my life. We did this amazing exercise with my therapist where I was sat with my eyes closed. I don't know if you've done this before, and you go back to the situation. She's like talking me through it, basically in a bit of hypnosis, like. And I walked into the situation as me now. And it was when my ex-boyfriend dumped me and was sleeping with a girl in my year at drama school. It was hell.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and she was like one of my really good friends. And it was really, really one of the most awful times of my entire life. Like really, really horrible.
That's so traumatizing.
How old was I? 19 or 20. And it was horrible. But the night he broke up with me, for then like the day later to just go and sleep with her and all this stuff. He like broke up with me, and I remember like the worst part about that whole conversation was he told me, I said I had suspicions about her. And that's why we've been arguing and ultimately led us to break up. But I said to him in that conversation, like, please just promise me, like, you won't do that to me, because like, you don't understand what that will do to me if I have to sit and watch that like every day. I couldn't escape it. They're in my year. We're in the same show together. It was hell. And he said, I can't promise that. He was like, I can never promise that to you. And like that feeling, I can say it now, but like for so long I could not say it. And we did this exercise where I went back, and after he said that to me, she's like, pause. And I walked into the scenario like as me talking to 19-year-old me. And like, oh my God, it was just the most amazing experience. I don't even know what happened to me. But now when I think about that situation, I think about myself talking to my younger self. I don't think about me not being there anymore. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, 100%.
So like I went in amazing. And I was talking to me going like, babe, this is what happens. Like, you're going to be fine. Like, I promise you. And it was just the most amazing
it's like
exercise.
It ties up that like,
it just rewrites it. It rewrote it for me in my brain. So now it's not as painful.
Yeah.
And so I think
that's amazing. Yeah, that is amazing.
It was. And so I always like now whenever I think about anything traumatic, I think, oh, I just need to try and get back into that state with her and like try and rewrite it and take my power back on those situations.
Totally. And then also think about like you, like future you will look back at you now and be like, babe, you're gonna be fine. Do you know what I mean? It's like having those conversations with your past and future self is like, God, this is like therapy. I love it.
We're just girls.
Yeah, but that's a really good exercise. I'm so sorry that happened to you though. That's really,
it was really awful.
Horrible. Well, I mean, I feel like you are just so like wise and very like self-reflective. So like you just will be fine. And just don't let these losers get, and you're not.
Just fuck off.
Yeah.
Seriously. They do need to fuck off.
Parties is the topic of this podcast, which I veered off. What is your social life like now?
Oh my God, a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's like, it's booming. I have to say no to a lot of stuff though to protect my peace. But
do you drink?
I do drink. I've been taking a little break for January. I've done 3 weeks.
That's amazing.
Which is actually really good. And I was drinking so much in Australia, and I was there just before Christmas for context. And then Christmas happened. It was just drink nonstop.
So you've been doing dry jam?
I have, but I've been saving. I knew I had an event on Friday. Oh my God, is it tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
And I'm gonna have a rosé. I'm gonna have a rosé. So I was like, if I can just make it to that event, cool. Like, brilliant. But I just needed a bit of time to not. But I love a drink. I love having a wine with the girls.
Same.
But you know, these events, I feel like I get invited to so many events in the beginning. I went to every single one. I was drinking every single event, and it could be like one after the next. And now I'm like, cool, that's too much.
And
like,
do you ever feel like do you ever feel like when you are at events and drinking, like sometimes I'm a bit like, okay, I need to stop drinking now because like these are people that I like also work with.
Literally.
And I'm fucked.
I know, literally. And it's like, oh, I should kind of be being professional.
Yeah, and I like forget because I think again it's like kind of confusing because when you're just expected to just be your personality, you're like, well, I can just be like quite drunk.
I know, and also sometimes I need a drink.
Yeah,
I get anxiety before I go to these events. I think, just need a shot or something.
When like you're at parties, do people like want you to like be your sort of like internet personality?
Yeah. It depends what event. If I'm there with loads of my like friends or content creator friends who all know me outside of like my videos and stuff, it's not so bad. But if I'm somewhere where there's also people like who I've never met before who watch my videos and they're coming up to me, I become immediately aware of it and I think, right, okay, I've got to switch it on for tonight. And she starts coming out.
What do you do? Like,
literally, I go into the toilet.
Yeah.
No, and I don't know. It's a weird one, but to be fair, most of the times it's always with a lot of people who already I've met, and like I've been doing it for like nearly 4 years now, full time. So I'm like, you know. You do want like, because it's like what I'd never want is for people to be like, oh, she wasn't as fun as I thought she was going to be. That would really upset me if they were like, she wasn't very fun. I know.
So then I try and like really like be insane because my people just want me to be mad and like have loads of like sex stories.
Yeah.
And I feel like and then I'm like, I feel like I'm a virgin, but yeah, sure, like I'll put it on.
What do people come up to you and say? Like, what's always the most common thing?
I mean, like honestly, girls just are jokes and will tell me like dating stories. Like girls love to tell me their icks, like things that have given them the ick.
Okay.
And then I'll be like, yep, heard that one before. Like we all hate when a man picks up a ping pong ball. Everybody hates it when he runs after the ping pong ball.
Oh my God.
That's like a really common, like everybody says that. Whenever I ask people what's like your biggest ick, they always say like running after a ping pong ball.
What is yours?
What's my biggest ick? This is so basic, but like shoes, like bad shoes.
Okay.
I really don't like bad shoes, basically. Is that it?
No,
like,
that's a good ick.
Yeah.
I would probably have to agree with you on that.
What are yours? What are some of your icks?
Like food around mouth.
Oh, that's bad.
But like I would tell them, but like, or like, no, not even food around the mouth, when they've just got like spit like forming at the sides of the mouth when they're speaking.
Maddie, that's not an ick, that's disgusting. That is disgusting.
No,
when they're dribbling.
When they're talking and there's like foam.
Oh, yeah, it's awful.
I'm like,
because also the problem
no.
is if you say to someone like, oh, they get really defensive. It's like always, I remember as a child, my mum once had spinach in her teeth. I was like, Mum, you have spinach in your teeth. She was like, yeah, I know. And then tried to act like, like it was there on purpose. I was like, you don't have to like defend yourself. Just take the spinach out of your teeth.
Have you ever told someone that their torch is on their phone?
Oh my God, yeah. And they go, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yes, me up. And I think, no, it's not. Walking down the street with your torch on, your battery's draining, doll. I'm just letting you know.
That's so
honestly.
funny.
So I'd probably have to say
yes,
that, or just in general, oral hygiene to me is huge. Like if you speak to me, you got bad breath, I think. Veneer breath is all the thing.
What does that mean?
Oh my God, you've not heard of veneer breath?
No. What is that?
Oh my God.
So like, wait, does veneers give you bad breath?
Right. So if you get veneers put in wrong, so like if you get them done like not very well, they can not be fully sealed over the top of your tooth. So bacteria can get behind the veneers, which you can never clean through brushing your teeth. So you just get this stench.
Oh my God.
Coming out of the mouth.
Oh my God.
I'm really sorry to say I have experienced it firsthand. And the teeth looked great. They did not smell great. And I thought
that's really bugged me out because what can you do if you have that?
Just get them taken out. You just
have to.
And you don't. How do you?
But when you get veneers, they shave down your teeth, so it's like you have to get them redone.
But if you can get ones that just go over your natural teeth now.
Okay.
But I would never get veneers for that very reason.
Basically, smell. Like I smell is my biggest thing. Like bad smell. And then also when people have facial hair and they have stuff in their beard. So,
oh no!
Like, you know when men like sit on a Guinness and it's like, that makes me feel sick. Like when it's like on their moustache.
Yeah, that's gross.
It's disgusting.
That is really gross.
Anyway, why are we single?
I know. Why are we single? It's so easy to please.
But yeah, that's basically what people say. So when you go to parties, you do feel like, because I was like, that's what I was like, curious to know about you, because I feel like you obviously like ooze like confidence, but then also it must be draining thinking about like how you're being perceived a lot of the time.
Yeah, I think socially, again, as long as time has gone on, the more I find it exhausting. But I think it's dependent on how good I'm feeling in myself at that period of time. Like at the minute I'm feeling good. So if I went to an event like the one I go to tomorrow, I'll be on top form. But if I'm having a bit of a shitty week, like, you know, this is the last place I want to be. I saw like a couple of content creator friends yesterday and they're like, we just never see you anymore. You're never at events. And I just think, you know, well, yeah, because I just have no energy to do it. And like, you know, it's really a lot when you're known for being like a loud, crazy, funny girl, because when you're not that, and that has been a reoccurring theme in my life, like as long as I
even when you were like younger.
Oh my God, like especially at drama school, like I was the class clown, like one of many. There was really funny characters in my year, but like everyone just knew me to just be crazy all the time and funny. And so I went through a really hard time in my second year of drama school was just shit from start to finish. And I had to leave and go home for a week because I was just feeling really depressed and just anxious. And I came back after that week and not one single person asked me how I was or how I'd been. They were all so awkward with me because they just couldn't handle the fact that I wasn't being crazy. They didn't know how to interact with me outside of crazy, weird Maddie. So like,
and then did you worry about that? Because I remember when I first started doing therapy, I was like, I don't want to do it because I'm going to become boring. Because I was also crazy, and then I was like, I don't want to, because I thought my only currency was being this like mad girl who was always a bit fucked. Did you worry? Was that like a? Were you, because it's when then people aren't engaging in you in the same way, you're like, oh, the only reason like people want to interact with me is because I was like being really loud and mad
all the time. And I have like an identity crisis about it like 3 times a year.
Really?
Because I just think there's so much more to me than what, you know, people think. And my closest and dearest people know that, and that's fine. And that's what I always have to remind myself is like, it doesn't matter if all those people don't know that actually, because the closest people to me do. But yeah, like I think about it all the time with what I do. I'm on the internet.
But see, I feel like you could like, I think this is the thing that I feel like you could also show those parts of yourself. It's about you 100%.
I just don't know if anyone's interested.
100%. Because I think people just love you. And I think people will, you know, there are people who will just like ride for you forever now. Yeah. And I do think that sometimes the internet means that we like lack this like 3-dimensional view of people. So you should be allowed to be like all of these different versions of you and still be the same person. But because we all get so, I have exactly the same thing, which I've definitely overcome in the last year. Even talking to you now, it's like the way that you can go from like funny to then talking about serious and talking about emotions is amazing. Like it's real human. Like it's human. That's what being a human is. It's like funny, crying, laughing. Do you know what I mean? So I think like, and also you don't ever have to do it. But if you want to, you should, because I feel like it will come naturally to you, and then it will make people feel like they don't always have to be like hilariously like funny and on all the time.
No, I know. I agree. And there's been times where I have posted something a bit more serious and like but it just annoys me when people are in the comments and they're like, oh, cannot take her seriously.
Yeah,
like
but
people will say that, and I just think, oh my God, you really have actually dehumanized me a little bit. Like
exactly. And it's like you want me to just be.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, like I really want to. I don't know, but you're right. Like that point about that, like just doing things for views. It's like you get swept up in that so much about like, oh no, I can't post that because that won't get views. But actually, it's right. Like you should just post what you want to post, and if it gets views, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like whatever. Like, and I actually did say that to myself this year. Like I want to be a bit more free in what I post and like do more things that I actually enjoy. Like post more singing videos because I love to sing. It's my whole entire life I've sung, and like I rarely share that with the internet, and I want to do more of it. So yeah, I think you definitely should, and I think that like it is really hard, and you're like all of the thought processes that you're having are so normal because it's almost a bit like in comedy. It's like you want to just be seen as funny all the time, because if you're seen as serious, then it might like subtract from the comedy. Yeah.
But I really think that people running on a higher frequency will get that you can be both all at once. And so like that person being like, oh, I just can't take her seriously. It's like, well, then maybe that person's just like not fully going to get you. So are you going to do more live shows?
Yes. I can't
That's
feel
exciting.
too much. But there are plans in the works. Keep your eyes peeled, guys.
Get on the mailing list. Yeah, you'll be the first to know. Subscribe.
No, and
that's really exciting.
It is, and it's all kicking off because it's like we were waiting to the start of the year, and then it's like it's all
really
go.
Exciting. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thanks. I feel really proud of myself because I feel like it was something that I've been wanting to do for so long, and you know, go back to my roots of being a performer, but being able to bring the two worlds together is so fun. And like I really wasn't sure how anyone was going to react to it, and because it's a show like I've written it with my like really, really dear close friend Ava Millard, and who is a really talented comedy writer herself, but she works in like in the West End and doing producing and stuff.
Amazing.
So it was just perfect setup, and so did it with her, and we really weren't sure how it was going to go because no one knew what they were coming to watch, and it was just so good. At the end of the day, like you were saying, just want to be entertained, and it was just really eye-opening for me. I thought, do you know, this is so natural for me to do. I've trained in it. I love it. When I'm up there, it feels like what I'm supposed to be doing. So I really want to expand on it and keep, you know, working on it and see where it can go, because I think it could be loved like past just the MGJ.
Yeah, definitely.
Club, you know,
definitely.
So I think, we'll see. But this year, keep your eyes peeled.
Yes, stay tuned.
Stay tuned on my socials at Maddie Grace Jepson on TikTok and Instagram.
I love it. I love having you at IRL. What would be your dream kind of party to go to?
I've never been on a yacht.
That's a good one.
And I'd love to go on like a yacht in like a hot country somewhere. Loads of food, like just staff the lot, drinks, just like that.
What's your like drink of choice?
I love a margarita. Margarita is my
spicy.
Favorite. I like a spicy, but I also like a Tommy's. A bit more sweet, but like salt rim.
What would you, if you were going to have a drink named after you, what would it be? It's my favourite thing to think about.
Maybe it'd just be the MGJ or the tongue twister.
Yeah, but what would it be?
Like, it'd be called the tongue twister.
Yeah, that's
be
the perfect name.
It'd be like sour, so you go like, you have to stick your tongue out after drinking it.
That would be quite a good brand.
I know.
That would be a good product.
The tongue twister cocktail.
Like
what's actually in it though? Let's think. What could it be? Tequila, because it's my favourite. So it's got to be tequila. What am I like? I don't know anything else.
Yeah, but it could be like a Tommy's margarita with something in it that is like your secret ingredient. No one knows what it is.
Popping candy or something?
Popping candy,
so
yeah.
You're gonna, well, what's that?
That's why it's a tongue twister.
Tongue twister. Tongue twister.
When did you start doing that? Like,
it's always been a thing.
Really? What? Since you were like like when did you? When you were a kid?
I feel. No, I don't think it was from when I was a kid. I always remember pulling this face as a kid. And everyone being like, oh my God, you can get your tongue so thin. And it was always just like, oh, it looks like a bum hole, like, lol, like, funny. And then I remember being in drama school and like, he's still my friend now, Luke. Shout out, Luke, love you. He always used to say to me, I used to just be talking and be like, I can't believe it. Like, and it would just like come out and as like part of the fact that I was being a bit crazy. And he would always say to me like, your tongue is crazy. Like, do you know that you do that?
It's got like a mind of its own.
Yeah, like, and he'd be like, babe, like your tongue is crazy, your tongue is crazy. So it's just, I can't really remember when it started. It just did. But it's so funny to me.
It is so, but it's so funny. And
like,
it's also just like so unique because like the way you do it is just like, you've invented like a way of communicating.
Literally. And can you imagine me posting it for the first time and it going viral? I was thinking, what? This is like something I've been doing all my like, me and my friends now, everyone loves it. Like, you know when something's an inside joke and then suddenly it's not.
It's like the whole world's joke.
Oh my God. But that's what was so fun. I was like, oh my God, like actually everyone's just like, we're the same.
It's fucking epic. No, I think it's so epic. So the tongue twister, I love that.
The tongue twister.
The tongue twister, and then it makes you so fucked that your tongue is
that
twisting.
You can't fucking speak.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you crazy drunk. You can't speak. Crazy. What would yours be?
I think mine would be a dirty martini with vodka. And then with
pickle juice, olive juice,
with olive brine and pickle juice, basically, and olive oil.
What? You need to make this for me.
Yeah, honestly, it's unbelievable
because I'm a savoury girl.
So that's what I like, a drink that tastes like a meal, basically. And this tastes like, it's like really like the combination of the olive oil and the brine. It kind of feels like you're eating like a pizza.
I need to try this.
Okay, I'll find us somewhere in London because I basically, whenever I have a dirty martini, I take a picture of it. So I have like a collection of pictures in my phone of like all of the best dirty martinis. I love dirty martinis so much. So I think mine would be the olive oil dirty martini, and I would call it the little bitch.
Yeah.
Little bitch.
I want a fucking little bitch right now.
Yeah. Oh, you've been the best. Thank you so much for doing this.
No, thanks so much.
You've been a
I'm
fabulous
honoured.
guest, and you're just like, you're just going to go from strength to strength. So it's really exciting.
No, but also you are so amazing and actually really quite inspiring to me.
Oh, that's so cute.
No, honestly, you are. Because you just get up and you just fucking do it. And I just think you're just brilliant.
Oh, well, that's really
hope you know
nice.
that.
I hope we get to perform together at some point. That would be really fun.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, put
Keep
that
your
in
eyes
there.
peeled, guys.
Yeah.
Bless us. Someone
Join
else.
the mailing list.
Yes.